Good evening and welcome to Business PNG, your weekly look at business news and updates. The Microfinance Expansion Project is one of the government's initiatives to fulfill Vision 2050. In its efforts to promote the financial inclusion agenda in the country, the government, with the support of donors Asian Development Bank and Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, initiated the project with the aim of extending financial services to the bulk of the rural population in Papua New Guinea. The Business PNG team had the privilege to travel up to the vibrant Sak Valley in the Enga province to witness the graduation of over 4,000 rural students from the training. We left Mount Hagen at around 7:30 a.m. on the day of the graduation, traveling on the notable Highlands Highway. For someone who has never been up to the Highlands Highway, I soaked up every second of the breathtaking scenery we passed. The Sak Valley Road itself was an experience of its own. The unsealed road was a 1.5-hour torturous experience, especially when riding at the back of a 10-seater, and contributed to the feeling of remoteness I felt when in the Sak Valley. The road conditions were bumpy, to say the least, with large craters overwhelming the route. The locals we traveled with were used to the roads, however, and said that we are actually traveling during the best conditions the road has seen. When it rains, it is usually very muddy and difficult to navigate through. Sak Valley is in the Wapenamanda district and is represented in Parliament by their member Rimbing Pato. The arduous and exhausting drive down the valley eventually ended, and waiting for us was a welcome party of splendidly displayed women, men and children, mostly graduates from the financial education training, in their Sunday's best singing and welcoming us to the church hosting the graduation, the Reformation Ministries and Churches Network. With the RMCN's partnership, the Microfinance Expansion Project has been delivering training throughout the Highlands region, covering the Western Highlands Province, the Southern Highlands Province, Enga and Jiwaka provinces.
PNG is no exception. We are a member of the global community. Our sponsors, the Government of PNG, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and Australia, and Asian Development Bank are also mindful of that, and they have been sponsoring this project. This is the second phase of the project. So we are targeting the 120,000. We hope that we will be able to surpass the target, and focusing, I think, on the Highlands area where the majority of the population should be the objective. And if we focus on where the masses of the population is, then the target would not be an issue.
An estimated 85% of the population in PNG does not have access to financial services. The low-income population of the country are termed as core excluded in terms of the extent of financial exclusion, as they conduct their financial transactions completely outside the regulated financial system, mostly on a cash-only basis and sometimes in kind. Amongst the several causes of financial exclusion, the primary ones are high costs associated with small value transactions, lack of infrastructure and lack of client-centric products. Rigid processes and weak delivery models are also a factor.
Yeah, I think it's an achievable target. I don't see a problem with it. I think we will surpass the target. Yesterday we went to Sak Valley. There were 7,000 graduates, and we graduated 4,000. And the partnerships that we have with financial institutions and service providers are able to achieve those targets. The introduction of mobile banking does make the job a little bit easier. You know, Sak Valley is in the middle of Enga. Access by banks is difficult, and so the only access would be through mobile banking. So yes, it is an achievable target.
A total of 4,700 students graduated from the financial education training on the 16th of October during a mass graduation ceremony. The people of Sak Valley in the Enga province, considered the center of Papua New Guinea, are part of the 7,200 graduates from the Highlands region to achieve this. Many were overjoyed at the prospect of learning how to save, how to budget, and open and grow their bank accounts. Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Benny Popoitai, likened their potential to a ripple effect throughout the Highlands and the rest of Papua New Guinea. He mentioned that the new graduates will contribute successfully to the economic prosperity development. Women and children, especially through this training, will be a shining light to their community.
The whole world is embarking on financial inclusiveness, financial education. In the 2008-2009 financial crisis, world leaders agreed that in order to get sustained economic development in the world is to get the majority of our people, wherever they are, to be meaningful participants in the process of economic development. And in that process, that when the majority of the people become involved in the process, they can only contribute to the positive, of which positive participation in the formal economy, meaning that they create their own demand and overall demand in the respective countries. Even in APEC, they promote financial education and financial inclusion. In one of the main agendas of APEC meetings, surely in 2018 that agenda will pop up.
The hunger to learn and practice their financial education was obvious as the graduates crowded the booths of some of the commercial banks who accompanied us on the trip.
Sak Valley is inside the remote area, law town or something. Now, we plus a hard law, Kisimol can have him come law bank. Now, time we looking this law, okay, microfinance, Kisim training come. Me looking for some, me plan being Kisim sample kind of have him come law, time like all training. Me plan being Kisim all sample have him come law, me plus so that me plan can use him this law, like money, me plan time me plan salim all peak, one or something, time me plan Kisim all peak, time me plan salim all coffee, okay, me plus use him unwisely. That's all. Time me plus him this legally school now. Okay, me plus him good plus school whereby me plus can use him this money.
I haven't had that sort of feeling, and I had no thought of saving up. I spent the money unwisely, but now I see that I'm just picking up very well, and I have good savings. And I have started my chicken project, and I'm keep going.
Before time, me plus stop. Me play no sa budget money me plan. Amas me plan kisi me plan just use him to solve na. Me plan no sa saving, me plan no sa budget him good. Na time microfinance expansion project come inside na me school me plan. Na me plan line him good plan something na now me plan budget money me plan.
Project been come up, this a training been come up. Been sabe long all using money, all saving money, na our means of ways of creating money.
From the course, I learned that how to receive money, how to make money, how to budget, and how to spend money, and how to look after money, and the ways of receiving.
For more information about the Microfinance Expansion Project, please call the number on your screen or visit their website at www.thesefi.com. The project offices are located in Port Moresby City Centre at the first floor of the Post Office building. After the break, Telecom PNG signs a memorandum of undertaking with Fijian Holdings Limited over the sale of Media New Guinea Limited, MTV's parent company. Don't go anywhere. Media New Guinea Limited, a subsidiary of Fiji Television and Fijian Holdings Limited and parent company of MTV, may soon become an asset of state-owned agency Telecom PNG. Fijian Holdings Limited announced the signing of a memorandum of undertaking with Telecom PNG last week. The undertaking binds the two companies to continue discussions with regards to a total buyout by the government's telecommunications arm. The Memorandum of Undertaking, signed last week by Fijian Holdings and Telecom PNG, will give the SOE exclusive rights to carry out a comprehensive due diligence check on Media New Guinea Limited and make an assessment of value of the company.
We've entered into an exclusive negotiating deal or MOU with the vendor. We have drafted a share sale agreement, which would be the basic document that the business is transacted through. We note that Fijian Holdings made, or Fiji TV made, an announcement yesterday in Fiji. So the expectations is over the next 45 days we conduct on behalf of Telecom and its shareholder a due diligence of the business. We've got a lot of preliminary information and subject to what that due diligence finds, we don't believe there'll be any delays in closing out the transaction, which for all parties we would like to achieve that by the end of November.
Fijian Holdings Group CEO Nuzab Farid said Fijian Holdings had always intended to have their media broadcasting investment in PNG back in PNG hands.
We have signed a memorandum of undertaking for them to look at Media New Guinea and make an offer. But my interest as a director of Fiji Television, as a director of Media New Guinea, to look after my shareholders. If I can increase the shareholder value, I have to do anything what is right. We have to work as directors. Our fiduciary duty is the best interest of the company. So if we get the right price, yes, why not? Lot of companies have been bought and sold in this world. So why not this if you are getting the right price? Because tomorrow, next year, year after next, we might sit and regret if you don't sell it right now.
This MOU will lock the shareholder of MNL with Telecom PNG from now until November 30th, when they will value the company and a price will be agreed to.
If you get a right price, we are willing to sell. This is the decision made by the directors of Fiji Television Limited. So, because their interest is the shareholder value. So let's look at that. So we can't make any comment now until we get an offer. So let's wait for it. If you make offer, yes, the directors again will evaluate and let them make a right decision. We love to keep 49% and sell 51% if they like to. But it's very difficult for a government entity to do that. So which means they need the government approval. A lot of approval is required to keep a PPP. But definitely we'll be extremely happy 49%. But even if they give 15%, we are happy to keep it and let them take the balance. And
but you are hoping to retain some
definitely,
shares.
we have made a request also that we want to keep a small percentage. Okay. And it will be a win-win for both television companies.
Telecom currently has a subsidiary, FM 100, operating as Kalang Advertising. Its recent buyout of Datac PNG has shown that it is serious in establishing itself in the voice, data and content broadcasting business in the Pacific. On Telecom PNG's part, the company is confident that the proposed acquisition of television company Media New Guinea Limited will open up the broadcast market in Papua New Guinea. Chief Executive Officer of Telecom PNG, Michael Donnelly, stated that the proposed buyout of MNL and the synergies between the two companies will provide a stronger local presence in what is fast becoming a highly competitive industry.
It's a very attractive acquisition for Telecom. We still have to go through the various regulatory and approval within PNG, but the working assumption is that those approvals will be given. I think for Telecom, when we look at the global sort of telecommunications market, we see the same behaviours in PNG as we see in the globe, and that is that increasingly our customers, particularly our online customers, are wanting content over and above, voice and traditional data services. So the acquisition or the proposed acquisition of EMTV or MNL is a way for Telecom to service the customers here in Papua New Guinea with a very capable organisation that has good production and broadcasting ability intact. So that's the opportunity that was available when the vendor put the business up for sale.
Mr. Donnelly also said that while Telecom is a state-owned agency, it operates in a highly competitive commercial market, and there is minimal influence by the government in its operations.
MTV, I think, two things. First of all, notwithstanding it being owned by Fiji, is a Papua New Guinean company. So by having now the company owned by Papua New Guineans via Telecom, it means that this company, we can secure its future going forward. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you look at the business, economically or financially, it's a very strong business. And thirdly, when we look at the various components of the business, the broadcasting capability, the production capability, the skill sets of the employees, that they are the things that make this a very attractive investment for telecom and of course for Papua New Guinea.
In a largely patriarchal nation, where even the cultures represent males as heads of the house and the females are often seen as mere possessions, women emerging from such backgrounds to accomplish great achievements, be it in the public or private sector, are lauded and highly valued. In the 21st century, it is not rare to find independent and self-sufficient women around PNG. Recognizing and rewarding exceptional women in business was the aim of the recent Westpac Outstanding Women Awards 2014. The event, which took place last Wednesday at the Gateway Hotel in Port Moresby, was well attended. 10 outstanding women were the finalists of the WOW Awards. The women were acknowledged while their achievements and community involvement were highlighted and recognized by many who attended the event to show the support for women in the country. Now, in its 8th year of running, Managing Director for Westpac PNG, Jeff Toon, said the award is a way to recognize and reward women in the country for the outstanding work that they do.
It's all too easy to see some of the incredible initiatives that are going on for women that have cropped up in the past few years and say, oh well, that's okay and we're on our way. But the reality is for women here in PNG, the change can't come quicker enough. In Papua New Guinea, the representation of women lags behind men in all key leading indicators, in gender equality, including education, economic opportunity, political empowerment and health. Tonight, with the much valued support of our sponsors, we're shining in the light of outstanding achievements made by women and showing that their development, their journeys and their contributions do count. Over the past 8 years, women from all walks of life have been handed WOW Awards, from doctors to farmers to teachers and social workers and of course entrepreneurs. And we've been privileged to meet with those women who have used their passion to inspire change in the communities, and this year is no different. So why is it important for Westpac to inspire change for gender equality? Well, when you have been part of a community for more than a century, and the very first bank in PNG, you have a stake in its well-being. And I'm proud to be standing here tonight in the company of so many exceptional and extraordinary women.
5 women were awarded in 5 categories. The PwC Private and Corporate Sector Award, which was awarded to Lesieli Taviri, the Steamships Public Sector Award, given to Esther Apuahe, the Trukai Community Responsibility Award, presented to Penny Sage Embo, the SP Brewery Entrepreneur Award, given to Christina Josephine Cragnolini, the IBBM Young Achievers Award, given to Mazela Maniwavi, and the overall Westpac Outstanding Women Award, which was presented to Lesieli Taviri for her outstanding leadership role. WOW Award winner Lesieli Taviri dedicated her award to her staff and encouraged women to be strong and make a difference in the country.
There's some great women out there doing some great work. And I suppose I'd like to take this opportunity also to encourage all of you, and this is wearing my hat as a chairman of the Business Coalition for Women. I'd like to encourage all of you. We all have an opportunity to be able to make a difference, whether it be at a home level or whether it be at a business level or even a community level. We all have that scope of influence. So I encourage every one of you to be able to develop that conducive environment for women to be able to develop. Women make up 50% of PNG's demographic, and the real question is, are we prepared to settle for half the potential this country has to offer? So I leave this challenge to you. One wise person once said to me, once said to me, Lesieli, create your story, because the story you tell is the culture you create. So I leave that with you tonight. Tell your story and create your culture. Thank you very much. I'm deeply honored.
Premium recognition similar to this can empower, inspire and add value to the PNG businesswoman, as well as women aspiring to venture into business.
And that's the end of our show. For more information, be sure to visit MTV online. That's mtv.com.pg/business. Or to join the conversation, follow us on Twitter at Business PNG using the hashtag Business PNG. Until next week, have a pleasant evening. I'm Leon Durari, and this is Business PNG.